What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Broman, aka Allfires. Now, if you were an estuary of emotions watching Spider-Man No Way Home on the big screen, how do you think director Sam Raimi felt not having seen Tobey Maguire in the Spider-Man costume in over a decade, and as luck would have it, now in line to direct the very next film for the MCU? And while he did weigh in on his feelings with that, and we'll get to them a little later in this video, more importantly, in his most recent interview with Variety, which broke literally less than an hour ago, he was extremely candid on what's going on with Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, had a lot to say about it, even weighed in on whether or not they're still doing reshoots. It's quite incredible to get an official reveal like this directly from the director this late in the game, but before the film comes out. We're breaking down the entirety of his interview with Variety, what he said about Doctor Strange, and of course, his reaction to everything that went down in Spider-Man No Way Home. But first, if you could consider hitting the subscribe button. We do daily Marvel content at this channel, and that's all we do. Everything from official Easter egg breakdowns, trailers, reviews, and even watch parties to the occasional scoopster, insight, and stories like we're covering today. So if that sort of thing's for you, hit that sub button, leave a comment down below. That'll automatically enter you to win all our giveaways. We're giving away another PS5. We are halfway there. Again, all you got to do, be a sub, leave a comment. If you want, stick around to the end of the video. We'll get into all the giveaway stuff again there. So again, this is an official update in that it's coming from director Sam Raimi, who's directing the upcoming Multiverse of Madness, who was also the original director on the Spider-Man trilogy with Tobey Maguire. In response, would not reveal any details about the plot, but was also very candid about what's going on with the film, what stage they're in now of post-production, and whether or not they were done filming. This is what he had to say, quote, "I wish I knew the answer to that question. I think we're done, but we just cut everything. We're just starting to test the picture, and we'll find out if there's anything that's got to be picked up. If something's unclear or another improvement I can make in the short amount of time left, I'll do it. One thing I know about Marvel's team is they won't stop. They'll keep pushing until it's as close to being great as it could." Marvel's been a great team to work with, and I think that was a not surprising surprise. I've been super supported by the whole Marvel operations, starting at the top with Kevin Feige, and they're working all the way down to the crews that they work with. They're super professional and have supported me every step of the way. They go on to say Doctor Strange is obviously scheduled for now, May 6, 2022. It already saw one delay along with the rest of the slate. We proposed it was based on the fact that, well, CGI takes as long as it does these days, that they're working on it right up into the film, and massive rewrites again and again to the script to try to fit it into the now shuffled and reshuffled Marvel Phase 4. And of course, the test that he's talking about is in starting to test the film is the first cut that was tested by Marvel. It was pretty widely reported there was a closed test screening. This is very common for Marvel to do this a long time prior to when they actually release the film it and screen it again and again in-house, because, well, if something's not clear to this immediate group of people, then it's probably not going to be clear to audiences en masse. And this is very, very common for Marvel movies, especially where they are now. These films are super complicated. This may be the most complicated of all. When compared to Spider-Man No Way Home and Avengers Endgame, even saying that out loud sort of makes me chuckle. Now, of course, he did weigh in on seeing Spider-Man No Way Home as well. Of course, he was going to have a huge reaction to that. This is what he had to say about seeing Tobey Maguire alongside Andrew Garfield and Tom Holland in Spider-Man No Way Home. Quote, "It was so much fun. I love No Way Home, and the audience I was with went crazy. It was delightful to watch Alfred play his role, Willem Dafoe, just seeing these guys take it to the next level. And Tobey was awesome as always. The best word I can say is it was refreshing for me," which is awesome to hear, because as I bring up many times at this channel, it was, well, should we say at the very least contentious what happened between Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, and Sony. They basically did him as wrong as they did Andrew Garfield. Literally, the script had already been written. They were well into post-production on Spider-Man 4 when it was completely canceled by Sony, and then they announced Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man 10 days later. That actually happened. As crazy as that is to think, that actually happened. So the fact that they're back both in the fold now is pretty awesome. And to hear that, you know, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is still on track for May 6th is great as well. I literally can't imagine the amount of stress those teams must be under when it comes to stuff like this. The amount of just how much money and time goes into one single frame. Look, there's a couple of rumors going around right now about what the budget for this film may end up being reported to be when it's all said and done, and it is astronomical. And again, that's just a rumor, and we'll wait and see how it all comes out in the wash. But The fact that they're pouring this much into Doctor Strange with Sam Raimi at the helm shows you that they have a ton of faith in this director. And say what you will about Sam Raimi and some maybe of his campier elements, that man can direct a film. I have total faith in him to be able to encapsulate what we expect from a Doctor Strange film, which, to be fair, even though I love the first Doctor Strange, fell way short of the symbols of the occult and the sort of darkness that I expect to go along with that character, especially drawing from the source material. Again, I liked Doctor Strange 1, but to me it stayed really, really safe. I expect Sam Raimi to push the envelope on that as far as he possibly can, and so to hear him say that, hey, we may not even be done shooting, don't panic. Again, completely normal, and Marvel Studios just doing what they do in their quality control and making sure that if, they're pouring this much money into a film and it's this important in setting up the multiverse, or at least where we go from here, that they absolutely get it right. I also suspect that there will be a ton of long due explainers coming in this film. The inconsistencies with things like Nexus event and predetermined points, fixed points in the universe. There's a lot that they're going to have to explain and hopefully start to lock some of this into canon, official explainers from Marvel. I know that they sort of let a lot of the writers and directors do their own thing, and how the timetables worked, especially for What If. I actually interviewed the director and head writer on the show here. That interview is still up at the channel. When I got to interview them, they admitted they were working on What If a year or two in advance. So while these writers were working independently, you started to get inconsistencies with, say, WandaVision and What If, the TVA, how the multiverse all works. I suspect that's coming in this film. And when it does, they want to make sure they get that right, because that's the logic they're going to lock themselves into for the future of at least the foreseeable future of the MCU. And I would say the Kang event, trying to lock up the multiversal war, or however that plays out with what's coming with him. So seeing as all that is very important for the foundation of how the MCU is built and how the multiverse works within the context of the MCU, you can see why they're taking these extra extents to get it right. Guys, let me know all your thoughts down below. How hype are you for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness? Who's your most highly anticipated cameo? Quickly, let's get into the giveaway stuff again before I let you go. All right, we're still giving away PlayStation 5, and we're doing it now at every 20,000 subscribers all the way up to 1 million. The pace has picked up incredibly, and we are halfway already to the next one. So if you want to be entered to win, or for any of the future giveaways, all the same rules will always apply. Hit the subscribe button because you need to be a subscriber, then leave a comment down below. Because it's truly random, the more videos you comment on, the better chance you have of winning. All winners will be announced at the end of this video, the same way we're doing right here. The best way to keep up with the channel has always been to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on, and that last part there, all notifications turned on, are now as important as ever in this weird days of the YouTube algorithm. My name's Michael Roman. You can find me in a couple of places: Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, Apple, iTunes, wherever you listen to original music under the name All Fires. What's crazy is I've started shouting that out now. Last of my videos, you guys have actually started to trickle over, and the #1 resounding comment from people who go find it, especially recently, is, oh my god, this is actually good. Yes, because 1 million people have said, hey, listen to my mixtape in your lifetime, and most of it has been crap. Maybe mine is too, but at least a couple of you like it. And if you're morbidly curious on the back of that endorsement, again, All Fires, any platform, check it out. I love you guys. Peace, love, Spider-Man.